The ticker report. The ticker report. The ticker report.
Yo, what up? This Freeway Rick Ross, and you with the ticker report. Ticker report.
Look, Rick, this is what I want to make sure that people know. You got a book coming out. Is it out yet?
It's out.
It's out.
I got a book that's out.
What's the name of it?
Freeway Ricky Ross Untold Autobiography.
Okay.
Now you talking about the one that's coming out?
Yeah.
It's called Riding with Rick. That's the next.
Now, there was an author that used to work for the LA Times that was with you earlier in your career, and he continued to follow you.
Jesse Katz.
And Jesse Katz then wrote an article about you in LA Magazine.
Yeah.
This is what this is pertaining to, this book.
Yeah, kind of. Jesse wrote an article that he called my obituary, where he came to Lompoc Penitentiary to say farewell. You know, like, I'm showing my respects. You know, this is to be the last time that, you see each other.
Why would he say that?
This will be the last time that I write about you. You had a nice career.
Wow.
But it's over. You're going to die
in prison.
In a U.S. penitentiary.
Yeah.
At that time, I was in one that's called the New Rock. And they called it the New Rock because they closed Alcatraz. And they took a big boulder from Alcatraz and they put it right at the front door, saying that Alcatraz could not be escaped from, neither could Lompoc.
True story.
And that's where I was supposed to spend the rest of my life. And Jesse wanted to write about it. You know, he felt that he owed the people of Los Angeles and the rest of the world the privilege or the opportunity to have the final words of Rick Ross, Freeway Rick.
Okay, so what if you noticed that fascinates people the most about your story from the cities that you've been to? What do they normally ask you the most?
Well, I think most people are fascinated that I was able to take $125 and turn it into $3 million a day. I mean, I think that's what really fascinates people. And the fact that at the time that I was doing this, I was totally illiterate. You know, I couldn't read, couldn't write, had no formal education. But yet and still, I was running a business that was comparable to a Fortune 500 company.
Absolutely. So, to me, and so this is the way I look at you. To me, you are my superhero. Okay. Now, every black man that is born in the inner city, and I remember myself in particular that when I was growing up, for some reason, we always wanted to mimic and imitate the older guys that was getting money and doing
street cats.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, no
and
doubt.
that's what it was all about because we had no other role models to look at unless they were an athlete.
Well, you know, Bootsy just put out a record called Bad Role Models.
Word.
You know, and a lot of times when we growing up in the ghetto, we have bad role models. I mean, and not to say that, you know, I love some of those dudes. You know, Tookie Williams. I love Tookie Williams.
Rest in peace.
You know what I'm saying? Was Tookie somebody to follow after? Absolutely not. You know, because had my mama not has been as strict as she was, and then I not had started playing tennis later on, I could have been with Tookie when he did whatever crime he did, because that's the kind of love I have for Tookie. So, you know, sometimes when we growing up in the ghetto, we don't have the best of role models. You know, we don't have the guys. At that time, it was nobody to show you how to start a rap career or a record career. At that time, it was steal a car, pimping, burglary, how to rob, you know, gang banging. And, you know, when I went to prison and I was sitting in my cell and I was like, wow, look at the opportunities that you had. You know, and it was just fascinating for me to know that I got out of that.
But isn't that like an ill moment for you? Because it's like sometimes we don't really understand what we have until it's taken away from us.
No doubt.
And so now you got so much time on your hands. And again, a lot of people don't know, but you're comparable to what a Fortune 500 owner. I mean,
better.
You accrued.
Better.
What? Wait.
Better.
DJ E, give me some sound effects.
Better.
Man made over $600 million.
Better. Better.
That you set up, you know, the everything about it was how you would do a Fortune 500 company. It's just the product that what made it bad. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like you're a good role model. It's just that people shun the product that was put being
no doubt, and you're absolutely correct. And the other thing that I'm gonna say is when you look at these guys who run these 500 Fortune 500 companies, you look at their background, where they come from, who their mother was, who their father was. All that has a part to play. But when you look at us, man, you got to think, man. Yeah, we only like 3 generations or 4 generations from being slaves.
True story. So now what I wanted people to know is that you actually had businesses, and that what happened is after you decided to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and lay it down. I'm going to go ahead and leave this game alone. I'm going to go ahead and invest in business. Because actually, that's where you actually are very gifted in.
I didn't really understand, I didn't really understand business at that time. I understood the drug business. I understood how to steal cars. I had some clues about how to do burglaries and robberies because these were the trades that were being taught in our community. These is the trades that the guys in my neighborhood felt that were the opportunities that we had as a community. But after I got to prison and I started analyzing not only the trades, because see, I had never analyzed myself before. I only analyzed the trades that I was getting into. Well, what I did is I started to analyze myself and find out who I was. And then I started to not only analyze me, but to analyze my people as a whole, because, TV has a big effect on how we look at ourselves and how we think about ourselves. And when I was sitting in prison, I started to look at myself and analyze myself, and then I started to know that there was people that had looked just like me that were geniuses and kings and queens and had done things that still baffle modern science today. They don't know how it was accomplished. And it was at that time that I started to respect my genius and my ability to function in any position that I was put in.
Well, I think that pretty much sums it up. What's important to me, Freeway, and what stood out to me most about your story is that you turned a negative into a positive. And to me, that's what resonated with me the most.
We've always done that as black people.
And we continue to move forward. And I think that, along with the fact that we have melanin, are the reasons why we are probably one of the most hated races on this earth.
And loved.
Absolutely. At the end of the day. But you have
hated in America.
Right.
Hated in America.
There you go.
But loved around the world.
Absolutely.
But America has made us to believe that the rest of the world hate us.
So we think that, so we don't want to go nowhere else, that we'd rather stay in hell and catch people that won't go anywhere because they think that they can't.
The majority of black people,
of how, people are going to react. Like,
the majority of black people don't want to go nowhere. Man, I'm going to stay right here in the projects, man. I'm cool in the projects, man. Just give me this, and I'm good, homie.
I'm good,
what I'm gonna go over there for?
And I'm good.
What I'm gonna go over there for?
Is this mine?
And don't know it's a whole different
situation. Yeah.
Love. That's what it is. And honor. And I need that sign too, please.
I got you. Y'all make sure y'all go get the dudes in the street call it the Ghetto Bible. That ain't what I named it.
Understand. Let's go ahead and go to a break, guys. You are listening to AccelerateRadio.net. We are with Freeway Rick Ross right now, the real Rick Ross. We will be back right after this commercial in a minute. It's your host, Ed J.
Yeah.